So I guess I've kind of found a solution. As you can see, the hair is getting a little thin on top from all the pulling I've been doing. There is a program that DJI makes called DJI Assistant, and you install it on the computer. Then you can just plug in your controller and plug in your Mavic Pro and update the firmware so that they're the same. Is this going to solve my problem? I don't know, but this has not been a user-friendly process, that's for sure. So it's been 25 minutes and we're at 20% uploading to the drone. So it had to download the firmware and then it has to install it now. I started working on the drone at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's 6:15 and we're still troubleshooting. So after hours of updating firmware last night and downgrading firmware again, I figured out what the problem was. I had to resync the controller to the aircraft. There's a little button that you have to push. You have to go into the app, select resync controller, and push that button. It wasn't working yesterday until I upgraded the firmware. Still wasn't working. Downgraded the firmware, then upgraded it again, and now this morning that worked when I clicked link. So it looks like we're ready to fly. Pain in the ass, took me about 5 hours to get to this point. I can't tell you how many videos I watched, but today is a new day and I will not be negative. We are ready to fly. Okay, so this clip here is with the plastic cover on the drone. I want to see the clarity, the detail, and right away, you guys can probably notice in the bottom left corner, you can see the rotor reflection. So that's no good. Kind of flying into the sun here. Well, what there is for sun. And actually the outside is not bad. I mean, you can see there is a lot of detail captured. It's just the reflections from the rotors that kind of make this pointless. I see why everybody says, no, you can't fly with this cover on here. But really, you should be flying with that cover on there because that absolutely protects the gimbal when you have a crash. So if we're looking down at the ground there, the reflections kind of disappeared. So if you were to do some overhead flying and you were just, doing road work or vehicles, something underneath you, you might be able to keep this cover on. But I think for most of the things that I would use it for, you would have to take it off. And here I just wanted to check the detail from close-up items. You can see a nice spot from the sun reflecting on that plastic cover as well. But if those rotor reflections were not there, I would fly with this cover on here. I'm going to have to look into that and see if somebody makes a cover that is made to go on there and shoot 4K video through. It just seems like that would be the perfect solution to have your gimbal protected. And for comparison, this is without the plastic cover on. And it's quite a bit better. You see a lot more detail in the roof tiles and the tree branches and things. So it is not only lowering the quality by putting that plastic thing on there, but then it's adding all kinds of reflections. So from this brief test, I would have to conclude that we're better off in most situations to not have that cover on there. Unless you're doing flying that the video isn't first priority, then we might keep it on just in case of a crash, which I hope never happens again. As well, guys, I will look and see if I can find a product that is made to shoot video through. If I find something, I'll definitely post it in one of the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, guys.